Hi, welcome to the Wheelchair Fencing Coach. We start with a photograph of me as Piers' coach from 2015 at the Pisa World Cup. Piers wins gold medal in the category A epee and also receives the Athlete of the Year award. In part 6 we will look at warm-ups, opposition attacks, parry ripostes and also flicks. Starting off with simple lunges and then introducing a movement from myself. As the coach, my weapon is quite stationary, but I'm giving him some opposition so that he can attack my blade. Changing to an opposition attack. Here again my blade is quite stationary so that he can attack it. Reminding the fencer to pick the correct distance before he attacks. Adding on a counterattack, I allow the attack to happen, rock back slightly, and then attempt to take his blade with an engagement, whereupon the fencer disengages and makes the correct counterattack. Always remember to allow your category B fencer to have a little break and readjustment before continuing. Working on carte, seize and octave opposition attacks. Once again, for me it's quite easy because I just leave a stiff blade and then attempt to engage his blade. To practice the circular 6 parry, I extend my arm with my point above his guard and make a slow advancement. The circular 6 parry should be a short, sharp circular movement. His point should remain on target. Here I'm advising the fencer that his actions are too big. Breaking down the actions into the parry, pause, extend arm and then riposte. To practice the carte parry, my point should still be above the fencer's guard, but slightly away from the center of his guard, so that he can take an effective carte parry. After every action, he must come back with a point in line and look for a second action, in this case a counterattack. For octave parry, my point is now below his guard, but still quite close to the edge of his guard. The octave parry should be a 180-degree semicircular action from high line to low line, with this point remaining on my target. The fencer recognizes that he's twisting his wrist in order to take the parry, rather than using his fingertips. Once again, by breaking it down into the two actions of parry, pause, check everything, extend the arm, riposte, follow up with counterattack. Carte to octave bind riposte. As the coach, I present my blade for the fencer to make the correct carte parry. Then I relax my blade and my elbow so that he can bind to octave and make the riposte, followed through with a counterattack. Circular 6 parry flick riposte. When the fencer takes the circular 6 action, I drop my point but still continue forward with my arm, raised high so that he can land his flick. Working on combinations, attack, counterattack, parry, flick, riposte. When he attacks, as the coach, I move back slightly, then come forward so that he can make the counterattack, and leave my blade high so he can make the flick and make the riposte. This is one of my favourite moves, a High Septime parry flick riposte. It's best done in stages. As the coach, I present my arm and blade position quite high, demonstrating that the High Septime is taken with my guard above my head. My elbow is still bent, I hold it there, then my body moves forward with the guard quite close to my mask, and then I execute the flick action. Adjusting the fencer's hand and guard position, and also being aware of his point position before he executes the flick and the riposte. Break it down into the individual phases. As he makes the flick, you will notice that I drop my blade and lean forward. Taking off my sleeve so that I can see the bend in my elbow and how high my guard goes to take the Septime parry. So you're looking here. Looking here. Talking the fencer through each stage individually. As the coach, I present my point above his guard and extend so that he can take the High Septime. Once he starts to do the flick action, I drop my point and also my shoulder to make it easier for the flick to land. Smooth. 7, 8, body, flick. Smooth, fast and left. 1, 2, 3. Now working on a smooth, flowing sequence of actions. Attack, counterattack, High Septime, parry, flick, riposte. As the coach, present your blade so that the attack in opposition can be taken, then move forward for the counter-attack, allow the parry to be taken, and as he's making the flick, drop the point and your shoulder. Explaining to the fencer that when he took the High Septime, his point was way off target. Try and keep the point on the target. Continuation of the sequence with a flick remise. As the coach, I leave my guard high so that he can make the correct remise action. When the fencer gets proficient at this action, be aware that the tempo of the riposte and the flicks needs to be a flick remise. It should be a 1-2 action.